Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. Debbie Kleinman joining us here. She's a hypnotherapist at Enlightening Hypnosis, LLC from the Villages, Florida. Welcome back to the show today, Debbie. How are you?
Good.
Well, excited to have you, and I want to talk more about what you're doing. You're an how do I pronounce it? Alchemical hypnotist practitioner and certified holistic health counselor. What is that specifically? Would you mind sharing?
Well, the alchemical hypnotherapy is a type of hypnosis that we use that it actually invites angel guides, God, anything that the person believes in to help them through their sessions and to help them get the answers that they're looking for in that session. And it's usually beneficial because it's usually past loved ones that come and they want to give them a message. So, I forgot the second part.
Well, do I call you then an intuitive, an empath as well? Is that part of it?
Yeah, as I'm getting to do hypnosis more and more, it's becoming more easier for the empath to come out.
Okay.
Like a lot of times I'll ask them my client a question while they're under hypnosis and I'm hearing the answer before they answer me. So
Got it.
it's very interesting on different things that you learn from different people.
Interesting. And I know also as a certified holistic health counselor, you're helping so many, and there's a lot that you do. But let me first read off the website. If someone wants to contact you, it's enlighteningindshypnosis.com. That's enlighteningindshypnosis.com. You're helping people change their life by changing their minds. I mean, is that how you would describe it?
Yes, absolutely. Because a lot of stuff that hold us back is from our past. And in order to move forward, you have to kind of understand and release it. There's a lot of things that your subconscious mind holds on to, whether it was during your toddler days or any part of your life. And it'll kind of keep you stuck there if you um, don't work on it and try to understand why things are happening the way they are, or say you have a dislike for a certain person. And
Mm-hmm.
so, yes. And I do a lot of weight loss and smokings. Um, and so I'm gastric bypass. I had the gastric bypass in 2002. And so I tell my clients that our gastric bypass, I say the doctor changed your stomach size, but nobody changed your mindset. But
Mm-hmm.
we have to go in and help the mindset accept the changes that's happening in the body.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And how did you want, or what did you want for your listeners to know for today's show? Did you have an area of focus? I mean, there's, like you mentioned, the weight loss. That's one of the big things that you do. You help other people with their stress, self-confidence, with ceasing smoking, right?
Right, right. Um, Basically, if somebody comes to me for a session, during the evaluation, I will figure out whether it's the anxiety in their body that's not helping them, or like I said earlier, I do a lot of child rescue, so it could be something that they need to clear. I do a lot of my clients now from my home, whether it be a Zoom call or a phone call. For a phone call, I just have them put the microphone and their cell phone on their chest and put it so that we could talk back and forth. And because I do ask my clients a lot of questions, I want to know where they're going when they're under hypnosis.
And when you put someone under hypnosis, just some of the myths and misconceptions out there, it's not what you're thinking it is. It's something that we go through. How do you say this? So many times throughout the day, without even knowing,
Right.
right? It's nothing fancy,
Right.
nothing scary. Could you just remind them of that?
It's like a dreamy state. I get a lot of clients that'll say to me, Well, I don't think I was under hypnosis because I heard everything and I felt everything that you were talking about. And sorry, my dog's
That's
at my
okay.
feet here. Um, and I say, well, it's like you go under hypnosis all day long, and you might be driving down the road, you want to stop at the gas station, and you drive right by it. So your subconscious mind kept you safe at what you were doing, but you were in that dreamy state and you didn't realize that the gas station you passed.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So
That happens all the time.
yeah, yeah.
And there's so many benefits. I'll let you continue. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, there's so many benefits because oh gosh, I've worked with all kinds. I've worked with students that are getting bad grades in the classroom, and they just like, well, I do good on the homework assignments, but then I freeze up when it comes to the exam, and they says I go blank. And
Mm-hmm.
so I've been able to help them to release that by just making them under hypnosis the next time that they go to take an exam. Make them visualize what they're seeing, what they're reading in their books at home, or the homework pages that they have to do, and the answers will come to them. And by me giving them that suggestion, it works. They'll be able to visualize what they want to, the answers that they need for their exam.
That's
So
awesome. I never knew this. You taught me something new that hypnosis could help with today. Wow.
yeah. So I'm sorry, my dog is here
It's
and he's
fine. No, it's fine.
um
We're excited that you're here to talk about this, and I want to hear more about some of the other works you're doing.
um let me see. I've been working with one person for quite a while, so he finds me more beneficial than going to like a psychiatrist or psychologist, because they can choose what they want to talk to at the psychologist or office, and I can get more accomplished in a half hour to an hour session than they might accomplish in a 3 month session every week, because the subconscious mind is going to let go and tell them what they need to know. So I think I gave this an example one time before, is I never really knew why I had I don't want to say a dislike for my brother, but we didn't really get along that great all these years. And it was hypnosis that I realized that I was still mad at him. I was that 3-year old when he came home from the hospital and he took my crib. And I had to sleep in a big girl bed, but that toddler didn't like that. And she held on to that for so long. And now I think about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, is that silly or what? What a toddler holds on to. And you go through life and you're like, he gets on my last nerve. Why is it? And that's how I learned to deal with it. So
That's insightful. No, I hear you. A lot of times family members, there's trauma with that, with childhood trauma from how you were raised, where you were raised, and all of that that's kind of stuck. Is that like in our subconscious mind or yeah,
yeah,
I get confused between
the
the two.
subconscious, yes, the conscious mind is what you're in right now, and it remembers your address and things like that. When we go into the subconscious mind, I tell people that's like the computer bank of your brain, and it remembers everything. It remembers even the emotional connections from the past and how you acted and related to things back then. So, being the computer bank of your brain, you can go back and you can access it at any time. Now we have to make them agree, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, in order for you to get any help through
Mm-hmm.
your session. So for an example, so say you were abused as a child, and your abuser. I Under hypnosis, I have you confront the abuser and tell that abuser, either out loud or to themselves, how tell the abuser how they felt when they did that to them. And then I usually, I'll say to them, do you forgive them? And um well, first I ask, have are they saying that they're sorry?
Mm-hmm.
And if they said yes or no, I know what direction I can go in from there. And then if they do not want to forgive them, I'll give them an option of sending off that person, whether it be to jail or to school, to learn how to be, say, the uncle or the aunt or somebody
Aw.
that
Yeah.
they should be. And that just lifts the weight off of them. Yes. So,
Yes. Yes, we love that, right? You need it sometimes. Now, you mentioned different types of hypnosis. We talked about uh, the alchemical hypnotherapy, and you also have that under your on list. You mentioned the bariatric surgery as well, and so that's something you're helping people with. It's bariatric surgery for the mind, right?
right, right. So it's not just like, I also use the bariatric surgery to the mind for a lot of my weight loss people, whether they're too afraid to have the surgery because they say it's too invasive,
Hmm.
or their insurance companies will not pay for it. So what I do is, like, on the first, I do 4 visits with them. And the first visit, we go in and we find out why they're overeating, what they're
Okay.
using their food as a crutch. The second one is, I go in and I take out the sweets, treats, and munchies in their diet
I
to
know
help
that's so
them.
hard, but yes, it
Yeah,
has to be
yeah,
done.
yeah. And I give them a recording to take home to listen to the next session. So if they're gastric bypass and any type, the third session is, we're going into the hospital and they visualize they're having a revision. So when they leave my office, they don't believe that they can eat as much because I made their stomach smaller. So, and then the fourth one is um, a reinforcement to the actual gastric bypass surgery. And it just reminds them that they decided to take the road to the right because the road to the left is dark and dreary, and it's hopeless. And all the people that are on that road are different from them, and they want the road to the right because that's sunny and they made big changes in their life and stuff like that. So, but then there's another 4 sessions after that. And that's because people have been so beat down for being obese. They've got to find their voice back in the world. They've got to know that they're entitled. The entitlement, because um, they gave all their rights away years ago by having people help them, or just saying, I can't do that anymore. And so I help them get back into society like a normal person. So
Let's remind everyone how we can reach you, please.
you can reach me at enlightening minds hypnosis.com. I have a website named Enlightening Minds Hypnosis. It needs a little work, but you'll have some information on there on how my weight loss works and smoking cessation works. And then there's other things that I also put in there for stress.
Great. Well, thank
So
you for that. And Enlightening Minds Hypnosis.com. Again, visit the website. We still have more time to chat here with our friend about the work she's doing, Debbie Kleinman, and she's working with people. I know you're based out of Florida, but hypnosis, this is all something you could do anywhere virtually, like we're on a Zoom today, anywhere around the world, right?
absolutely,
Now, can I also
absolutely.
ask, I saw, on the website about nutrition. You also offer nutrition programs. I don't know if you want to get into that or you just want to stick with
That's
the
fine.
hypnosis for today.
Because after I had my gastric bypass, I wanted to learn more about nutrition. So I went to New York City every other weekend for about a year. I was with the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. I got my certification as a non uh, practitioner. Let me think of the word now. I can't think of the word. I don't give out drugs, but I can help you with your diet as far as the vitamins, minerals, and stuff that you would get. Um, and I can direct you to how to make better choices. And I do it individually because not everybody eats the same kinds of foods, depending on their nationality or whatever. So, yeah.
Mentioned there's a personalized program that you offer people, but there's also group programs. Do they start at certain times? Is there anything we should be aware of?
I haven't really put out a group program, but I am in the midst of doing that now. And if anybody wants to contact me,
Mm-hmm.
I can tell them how the group program would work.
Okay.
So, since everything's happened in my life in the last couple months, I've kind of put things to the side a little bit, and I need to get more active. So, um, and they can reach me. My phone number is area code 352-250-5025. That's my landline, and it'll roll over into my cell phone, so I'll get the call either way.
Well, also, let's just talk. So you would say weight loss is one of the most common things people are coming to you for. What would be next? Is it to stop smoking?
It's smoking, it's anxiety, it's the loss of a loved one, and they need to get through that process of grieving, and a lot of it helps with hypnosis to get through the grieving because um, they can get messages
Okay.
from their loved ones and stuff like that. Yes.
All right. Interesting. Because now,
Yeah.
how many sessions does it usually work for? I'm sure it's different for everyone, but could you share approximately, how many sessions do people need? How do you figure that part out?
I kind of figure it out during the interview. Now, I also offer like a 15-minute let's get acquainted call to see if you'd be interested in hypnosis either way. But during the initial interview in my office or on the phone now and stuff, I can figure out, usually it's two
Mm-hmm.
to three. And the reason I do 2 to 3 is because I need to make a recording.
Oh, did you get cut out?
No,
You
I'm
said you need
there.
to make a recording. I heard that part, and that's
Yeah.
when you
Okay.
listen.
Yeah, I need to make a recording for them to get the reinforcement.
Okay.
And to me, that's just something that I believe needs to be done because it takes time for the subconscious mind sometimes to agree to what needs to be done. Even though it agreed in the beginning, it wants to go back.
Yeah.
So,
All
yeah.
right.
So my weight loss is anywhere from 4 to 8,
Okay.
and my smokers are 3, and anybody else is about 2 to 3.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. And if someone wants to chat, you offer initial consultation, correct?
Correct.
Perfect. One more time, tell us how we can reach you, please.
You can reach me at enlighteningmindshypnosis.com, or my phone number is area code 352-250-5025.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And again, enlighteningmindshypnosis.com. Reach out, tell them that we sent you. Feel free to call for that free 15-minute phone call, 352-250-5025. Thank you so much for being here today, Debbie. We appreciate your time and letting people know it's possible to change. You got to start somewhere. It's spring. I feel like it's the
Absolutely.
time. It's possible, right? Let's do it.
Yes,
Thank you so
absolutely.
much. Pleasure having you
Thank you.
back, and enjoy your weekend.
You too. Bye
Thank
now.
you. Bye-bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.